Can you imagine a 12-year-old being sentenced to life in prison for murder? A boy less than 5 feet tall who said he was just imitating wrestlers, but it ended up taking the life of a girl of just 6 years old? This is the shocking, real-life case of Lionel Tate, the boy who became one of the youngest people sentenced to life in prison in U.S. history. But was he really a murderer, or just a child playing, who made an irreversible mistake? The Lionel Tate case shook the world in 1999, not only because of the brutality of little Tiffany Eunick's death, but because for the first time in decades, a child of just 12 years old was tried as an adult in the U.S. criminal justice system. No right to immediate appeal, no proper psychological review. Lionel, with a history of behavioral disorders and family problems, was thrown straight into a trial that would change his life forever. And the most disturbing thing? He didn't use a gun. He didn't plan a crime. According to him, it was all just a joke. You're into this kind of stuff, right? Then hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It was July 22, 1999, Broward County, Florida. The heat was typical of summer, and that day, the Tate house was quietly alive with the presence of 2 children. Lionel's mother, a security guard, agreed to take care of little Tiffany Eunick, a sweet, energetic, and family-friendly 6-year-old. Tiffany trusted Lionel, who at 12 seemed like an ordinary boy, despite already displaying restless behavior at school. Upstairs in the house, the two played while Lionel's mother remained downstairs watching television. Nothing out of the ordinary, until silence took over. A silence too long to be ignored, the kind that transforms time. Until Lionel showed up, running down the stairs, panting, desperate. He said, "She's not breathing." The mother ran into the room. Tiffany was lying on the floor, property, eyes closed, no response, no pulse, no life. The ambulance arrived quickly, but Tiffany was already dead. The scene was devastating. A child, a girl, dead in a house that should have been safe. And soon, the technical details would begin to dismantle the accident version. The autopsy would reveal what the eyes could not see. Multiple skull fractures, broken ribs, lacerated liver, internal bleeding, severe brain swelling, deep injuries, incompatible with any play. When questioned by the police, Lionel stated that he only imitated wrestling moves, like the ones I saw in WWE. He said that dropped Tiffany a few times, jumped on top of her with his elbow, and applied a suplex. According to him, there was no malice, just childish excitement, a joke that got out of control. But the medical expert was categorical. The injuries required disproportionate force for a 12-year-old child, and the pattern of the lesions indicated prolonged aggression, not simple falls or isolated movements. The prosecutor in the case rejected the hypothesis of an accident, and Lionel Tate was tried as an adult, charged with intentional homicide. The trial lasted only 3 days. The jury, after less than 6 hours of deliberation, found him guilty. The sentence was historic and shocking. Life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. A 12-year-old boy receiving the maximum punishment allowed by law. Several jurists and psychologists of the time spoke out publicly. Marjorie Sanfilippo, a forensic psychologist, stated, 12-year-old children are not fully aware of the fatal consequences of their actions. Judging a child as an adult ignores the entire neurological and emotional development that is taking place. Barry Crisberg, a criminologist at UC Berkeley, added, Treating a boy like Lionel Tate as an adult is not only legally dangerous, but morally untenable. The case exposed a brutal flaw in the American penal system, a fine line between criminal responsibility and childish immaturity. But what few knew at the time, it's just that Lionel already presented previous violent behaviors. He had a school record of aggressiveness, suspensions, and isolation. What's more, behind the scenes at the trial, rumors emerged that Tiffany had been mistreated for weeks. Witnesses said she feared Lionel, but nobody did anything. Years later, the defense attorney himself revealed that Lionel never had adequate psychological support, and the most surprising thing was yet to come. In 2004, after intense public pressure and intervention from civil rights groups, Lionel Tate had his sentence reviewed. The Florida Supreme Court found that he did not fully understand the terms of the plea agreement. He was released on parole. But his freedom was short-lived. In 2005, Lionel was arrested again for armed robbery and parole violation. He returned to prison, this time as a real adult. Today, Lionel continues to serve his sentence in a Florida prison. From a boy who is a symbol of injustice, a repeat offender in the system he tried to reform.